Hello and welcome back to This Old TJ. In today's episode, I will be removing the whole dash center surround. Runs pretty much around the entire center section. It's got snaps along the sides. Then up top you have to remove the trim piece, and there are two bolts underneath. You pull those out, the whole thing snaps forward. Pretty straightforward process, but if you never done it before, here's just a quick little guide on what to do. And I'm doing this in preparation for a couple of future videos. I'm going to be replacing my stereo. I've got Kenwood, it's a decent stereo, CD player, but I'm switching over to Apple CarPlay. I had that in my JL, and that's one of the things I actually did like quite a bit. So I'm popping this one out. Instead of going to a double DIN, I'm going to go with a single DIN that has a detachable 9-inch display. So that'll be upcoming. Another thing I'm going to be replacing, which will necessitate taking this off again, will be my AC controls. At the moment, I only have the two high fan speeds, and when I try and operate on either of the low or like the low medium, all I get is nothing. Follow along, I'll show you how to get this thing off, how to pop it back on. If you're doing the same kind of thing, it's really straightforward. This is one of those simple to do jobs. You don't need many tools at all. I believe I have the tools I want, so let's get started. First off, my little plastic pry tool, which I can gently slip in under the dash and work it along. And that comes out beautifully. One of the things I do when I pull these things off, before I go to put it back in, is check and make sure that all the little metal retaining clips that snap into those slots did in fact actually come off with the trim piece. Because there are times when they don't come off, and that's a little more work. Alright, so this has been feeling loose, to me at least, since I've owned this thing. And I may have found out why. It feels like there are no screws here at all. And that does appear to be the case, which would explain the whole looseness. If there were screws, they would have went in through these two locations. But anyway, that is it. One bezel fully removed. And now on to the replacement. Just like the top trim piece. If you look, you got the little clips to hold it in. And on this example, I am in fact missing two of them, right? And you can see in the dash, here's one still stuck in place up top, and it was the opposite bottom. And I am not feeling, oh, nope, I found it, that one. So I will have to get some pliers to pull those out, pop them back on this. But once I have those, we'll be ready to pop this thing back on. And I'm going to see if I can find some screws as well that will go in with this to secure this a little more firmly than it was, because the whole flopping around thing is kind of an annoyance. So I got a small set of pliers, pulled out those last two clips, got them back in. See them added back in. All four now have the clips. I checked my existing supply. The one thing I do not have at the moment is a set of the Jeep style trim screws that have the small hex head on them and Phillips head. I kind of want to stick with that where I'm replacing stuff, so it's, if not the factory original, it looks the same. So putting this back on is really straightforward and simple. Line everything back up and push. And those clips will lock everything in place. And then you can see now if I pull on it, it's not loose like it was before. Before, I believe they put it back on without putting those clips back on, and it was rattling around. So now it feels nice and solid. Still missing these two screws. I'll get those, replace them. They'll be easy to get to. As you saw how simple it is to put this dash plate back on. So I will slip it back into position. Just reverse course and lock it back down. And that's it. That's how fast this thing comes off and goes back on. If you need to do it, not one of those jobs you'll really be scared of at all. It's really straightforward and simple. If you like this kind of stuff, reach down there, hit the like button, hit subscribe. This old TJ's got a lot of things going on. We'll be getting it all recorded, published, try and get a video or two out per week minimum, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching. Bye.